Mr. Attorney General, before I begin with my questions, I'd like to thank you for the anti-crime accomplishments in my district of Los Angeles. Earlier this year, the department took down in one day more than 100 members and associates of transnational organized crime groups that were involved in widespread criminal conduct in Los Angeles, Miami, and Denver. These were violent and fraud-related crimes, including kidnapping and drug distribution. And also, in recent years, the department has gone after a San Gabriel Valley-based organization linked to a major ecstasy ring, leading to the seizure of over 1.1 million ecstasy tablets. Your office is also engaged in a massive takedown of major methamphetamine and cocaine suppliers to some of the most violent street gangs in Los Angeles and La Puente. So I thank you for all of those efforts. It has truly helped our area. And I'd also like to commend you for the work your department's done in regards to voter rights. Your office has handled 27 new cases this year and opened up 172 investigations in this area. We all know there's been a large number of unprecedented legislation suppressing voter rights, and I'm happy to hear that your office is vigilant about not letting that happen. Can you provide some examples of what the department is doing to ensure that newly enacted state legislative efforts on voter identification are implemented in accordance with the Voting Rights Act?
Well, we have a special role to play under the Voting Rights Act. Our Civil Rights Division, which is ably led by Tom Perez, has been very active in this regard. And to the extent that changes are made in covered jurisdictions, we review those proposed changes, and where we think something runs afoul of the Voting Rights Act, we note that and do not pass on them. Where we think that they are consistent with the Voting Rights Act, we approve them. We have taken in a number of places lodged objections to proposals that have been made with regard to changes in voting schemes.
And what steps are being taken to ensure that jurisdictions and their public are aware of what is permissible and not permissible with these types of laws?
Well, you know, we've tried to, Assistant Attorney General Perez in particular has spent a lot of time on the road trying to educate people, especially in those areas covered by the Voting Rights Act, about, and we've interacted with state officials as well to let them know about ways in which things can be changed consistent with the Voting Rights Act, warn jurisdictions about ways in which changes might be made that might run afoul of the Voting Rights Act, and then more generally to talk to members of the public, as I have tried to do when I've been out there, to talk about the Voting Rights Act. As I said, I'm going to be talking about in a speech at the LBJ Library next week, I think on Monday or Tuesday.
Very good. Well, I want to also thank you for something else, which is that there is an issue about offensive materials about Muslims that was used in some FBI training. And I know that in the Senate Judiciary meeting last month, you acknowledged that this has stopped. It was when the FBI was conducting counter-terrorism training using materials that included inflammatory statements about Islamic beliefs and offensive stereotypes about Muslims. So at that Senate Judiciary meeting, you acknowledged that it stopped. And I would like to know what the status is of the situation and the steps that have been taken, or any investigation that's been opened up about the use of these biased trainers and materials.
Well, the person who was responsible for the use of, I guess, using that material is no longer going to be used by the FBI. We've also enhanced our efforts to make sure that we review all the materials that are used in the training of agents, lawyers, personnel within the Department of Justice, to make sure that that kind of mistake doesn't happen again. This is something that the FBI director, the heads of the other law enforcement agencies within the department, as well as I and the leadership in the department, are committed to making sure it does not happen again. I mean, that was totally inappropriate, and it's a mistake that we will not allow to happen again.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thanks you, Ms. Chu. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Chaffetz, is recognized.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Attorney General, for being here.